Hi YouTube, welcome to another MapleStory 2 video. As the official release approaches, I imagine it would be a good idea to share a bit of my beta test experience in one of the most important dungeons in the game progression, the Fire Dragon dungeon. Originally a raid made for 10 people, it got downgraded to a hard adventure dungeon, which means the boss has less HP and can only be fought in a party of 4 players. So you are now required to at least know boss moves, which is what I'll be trying to explain from my experience in this video. What makes this dungeon so important is that it's the first level 50 dungeon to provide you with epic gear at a solid rate. So this is one of the entrance dungeons for the end game in MapleStory 2. For this dungeon, you don't need a specific party composition, but the run is optimized. If you have either a knight or a priest, their abilities increase the effective time you're hitting the boss and make the fight a lot faster. I'm not sure if it's because they were close to beta testing or simply due to how the game works, but the HP thresholds weren't always specific, so I had to work with approximation. For this fight, you'll prefer burst classes rather than DPS ones, and you actually have to dodge a lot of his moves. Upon entering, you'll find yourself in an arena with the boss as soon as the entrance closes, which happens for the seconds after everyone enters. The dragon can do what you'd expect a fire dragon to do, like breathing fire, roaring, or throwing a tantrum at any point in the fight. But the movements you want to keep an eye on are a charge move with clear visual and sound effects, which heavily damages and knocks up all players' heads, also applying a burn debuff, or a charge around multiple times like a mad bull, damaging and burning all players in its path. The burn debuff stacks, but can be cleared upon visiting one of the fairies at the safe spots of the map. For this part of the fight, you can just hit it freely as long as you dodge all of its moves. Ranged characters have an easier time joining, but melee fighters can do it just fine with a bit of practice, and have a hard time keeping up with his mobility. After repeated charges, it usually stops at one of the map's corners, where it will use its first dangerous, an explosive tail swing, which should be considered a sure death for all purposes. Following up, the boss will then slam its tail in a cone area in 3 directions. I recommend treating these as lethal as well, unless you have great gear from better dungeons and a lot of HP. Keep in mind, staying close to the boss while he does this will also get you damaged, even if you're not in the area depicted on the ground. When the boss HP drops down to around 70%, he will ferociously roar and stun the whole party, opening some blocks on the ground and enabling a new move, the laser. Much like the name suggests, the dragon stands up and one-shots everyone in the arena with a huge laser. To survive it, you can run to the safe spots with the fairies, or hide underground in the recently opened blocks. But be careful, as those have lava down there. For this stage, there isn't really much of a pattern aside from what I've just gone through, so hit the boss as hard as you can and your party should do it just fine. At around 40% HP, Dragon will break through the gates and run over to the other side of the lava bridge, where the rest of the fight will take place. Wait for the fairies to cross the lava bridge using their protection, and you'll see a similar arena to the first one, but this time the boss won't move. It stands in a small area flooded with lava and has a pattern when you first enter the stage, as well as a new one. An empowered fire breath, which covers the entire map, will be used twice, followed by a laser breath. You can either tank through these with a knight, which makes the whole party invincible on a long cooldown, or a priest, which can heal through the fire breath, but not do much against the laser. If your party chooses not to, however, the fire breath can be avoided by staying far back in the pillars, while the laser can be avoided if you're on top of it. Keep in mind, being up there won't save you from the fire breath. The new move you want to watch out for are the fireballs. The boss launches a series of fireballs that do nothing on contact, but mark an area on the ground to be blown up shortly afterwards, dealing high damage and knocking up all players hit. So basically you have to run around and avoid grouping together whenever those are fighting. They have a clear sound effect, so you should have no problem knowing when these are coming. Aside from that, the fight is pretty much the same as the first stage, with random tail slams and fire breaths, but no failures to creature debuffs this time. So watch out even more for the boss attacks. However, you will also have more time to hit the boss since he isn't running around. The blocks on the ground will also be open, at around 20% HP, just like in the first stage. So he will use his laser breath more often, but you can max your DPS by going into the ground instead of climbing the wall or enemies. I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it as short as possible. If you did, drop a like, subscribe for more content, and feel free to drop a comment down below. I'm the Mad Capybara, you've watched this Mad channel, and I'll see you on the next dungeon.